What up, F2M Television? This is Sammy, and it's Wednesday, and this week's topic is passing. My experiences with passing. I have. Oh yeah, this is take 3, by the way. But my experiences with passing are. I've always, for the most part, passed a good percent of the time. Even when I was younger, I just have always been hyper masculine, and I think that when I cut all my hair off, because I used to have like really long hair, and when I started having short hair, I passed a lot more. And people usually assume that I'm a lot younger than I actually am, and yeah, they usually think I'm like a few years younger and male. I've been chased out of the women's restrooms before. I've actually even like before I start, like way before I started transitioning, I just had like a lot of bathroom phobia, just because like even when I was like presenting as female or like ID'd that way, I don't know, like I said, I'm like hyper masculine, so I just had a lot of phobia because I feel like women gender police more than men, and they would just always ask me if I'm in the wrong bathroom. But on the flip side, now that I've started taking testosterone, I notice when people shee me or like misgender me, and it does happen occasionally. Mostly it's with people who already know me and know me as being female, and that's because I'm not necessarily out to the whole world. I just haven't spent a whole lot of time educating people around me, and a lot of the people that know me, like that do that, are like acquaintances but aren't really people I'm close to. And yeah, because I'm really active in the community, so I like know a lot of people, but they don't necessarily know me. And I've only been on testosterone for like 9 months, and yeah, so for the most part, anytime that I'm outside of Olympia, I pass pretty much 100% of the time. Like, I just took a trip down to the Southwest and passed and used nothing but men's restrooms for my trip, and even used a men's shower at one point. It was like a single stall shower with the door that locked, and but I was like felt okay doing that. But yeah, so passing stuff. I bind more now that I'm on testosterone than before. I don't know. I feel like I need to bind more. Before I started taking testosterone, I didn't really care, but now it's like a lot different. I think because like my voice has changed and my features have changed. So, what else? I don't pack. I don't pack. Not unless it's for something fun. I get really sweaty. My packers get sweaty, and then they get sticky, and then this can be uncomfortable sometimes. But I do have a packer. I just don't wear it ever. I also don't own an STP, only because it takes a lot of time and effort to keep them clean and not stinking. Remember, it's like an item that you use to pee out of every day, and they could start to smell. And I don't really want to take the time and effort to do that because I don't really care. I like when I use men's restrooms, I just go in the stall and pee, and nobody ever looks at me funny for it. I know a lot of guys, like men who were born men, who they sit down and pee. They don't want to have to clean up after themselves, and so yeah. So I think the thing that helps me out the most is the fact that I am hyper masculine, and I do a lot of guy things, and yeah, like my friends tell me that I'm like the most masculine person that they know, out of all of our friends, including all of my like cisgendered guy friends. But yeah, so I also have I have friends who are trans, who are really feminine, like trans guys, and like I have a friend who can grow a beard, and whenever they it's really funny because they get misgendered. more than me, I feel sometimes, because the fact that their voice is still really high, and the fact that they are really feminine. And I think that people have like this idea of gender, and when you fit it, you pass, and when you don't, you don't, you know. And I'm sorry to say that if you are a really feminine guy, there are chances that unless you are on testosterone, unless your voice does get really low, unless you do grow a lot of facial hair, you might not pass, you know. And it sucks. It's like these are indicators that you're like male, you know. And my experience is I'm probably not going to grow a lot of facial hair because of my ethnicity, because I'm Asian and Native. And I mean, I got a little mustache going, a little kind of, but I probably won't grow a lot of facial hair, and I'm okay with that. But that's not the deciding factor. Is like I said, I'm really masculine. So yeah. So if you're a really feminine dude and are having problems passing, it's not unusual. Yeah. Also, I feel like feeling really comfortable with the space that you take, and just like owning your space is really important as well. And just like, you know, not like feeling like you belong, you know. It's like I go in the men's restrooms and I'm like, I belong here, you know. And guys don't usually take a second look at me, and I don't even have, I mean, I don't usually don't say anything, and if I do, it's like I don't know, they just don't take a second look at me, and they're just like whatever, you know. um and so that's really important. And I think that also like people, uh, like predators and perpetrators, they really can like feel and like see when someone's like uncomfortable, and when somebody is like, you know, they really can. And people in general, I feel like, just notice when you are uncomfortable or out of place, and you know, might say something, you know. But yeah, um, also uh, some tips that I want to say is makeup to maybe enhance features or whatnot. Or do I've seen guys like put eyeliner or like mascara on their like peach fuzz to make it darker or make it look like they have sideburns and stuff. I highly suggest against doing that. I highly, because people can see that. People notice that and know it's not real. Just like if you don't have any facial hair like me, like go without. It's fine. People get it, you know. Yeah. So just like, I think the biggest thing is just like being like comfortable with who you are, you know. It's just like, I'm trans, you know, and I don't have a penis, and I'm like okay with that. Does that mean that like I don't belong in men's spaces? Like, no, I like belong just as much as anybody else, you know. And what else? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think that's like the biggest thing, is like owning your space, and also like realizing that men take up a lot of space. And I'm not saying like to be like that. Like I try not to. I try not to be like misogynistic or like take up more space than what I deserve and stuff. But just like recognizing that. And I don't really know. I'm a little tired. Um, so yeah. I haven't really had any experiences like really with like not passing. Not recently, anyways. And I don't feel like I said, I'm like hyper masculine, and not that I don't try to be hyper masculine. It's just like who I am, you know. It's like the jobs that I had. It's like I've been like a wildland firefighter, and I've done like backcountry stuff and like logging stuff. I got like this big scratch on my face. I like spent 2 days like chainsawing all this blackberry out of my friend's yard, you know. And it's like just the things that I do, you know, and that I really enjoy. So I like really present as like masculine, and people pick up on that and see me as that. But yeah, so some things, you know, it's like binding. always helps, you know. People think it's a little weird to see like a man with boobs. It kind of sucks. I don't understand why men can't have boobs, but people are kind of weirded out by that. And yeah, not like trying to overdo it. Like just like be comfortable in your body and just like own your space. And like even if people like have doubts, like people won't fuck with you if you like own your space, are comfortable, and like, you know, and like kind of like have that attitude and energy, like I'm not gonna put up with shit, like people aren't gonna fuck with you. Like that's been my experience. It's worked with me so far, and I've never been bashed in the bathroom. I have had people say inappropriate things to me, but it was like more so like people I knew. Like I've never had strangers come up to me and say anything inappropriate to me, question my gender, anything like that. So just be like, even if you're like a really femme dude, like be confident in yourself. You know, be confident in yourself. Know that you own space and don't take shit from anybody. And I promise you, most people will leave you alone. That's been my experience, anyways. Yeah, and that's about it. I guess we're gonna go through more stuff later on, so I look forward to that. And until then, I will talk to all you guys later. Alright, bye.